Randi-lee. On the show, we interview other writers and we talk about mental health from their personal journeys. If you have not already hit that like and subscribe button, go ahead, do that now so that you never miss an episode.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sunday night, or morning, or afternoon. Really depends where you are, but it's Sunday night for me, so that's what I'm going to roll with. Today with us, we have Shivani Malik. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am pretty good. So what time is it for you?
I am in California. It's 5 p.m. Sunday.
Okay, so I mean, kind of evening. It's not night, but it's not early either. So tell me a little bit about who Shivani is.
I am a scientist. My
Ooh,
PhD.
of what?
I'm a cancer biologist,
Oh,
and
that's cool. Any
I,
like specific ones you look at or?
we um, we work on many different kinds, but currently we are focused on a few solid tumors, as
Oh,
opposed to hematological cancers, which are cancers of the blood. So solid tumors like that of the breast, of the lung, a few
oh,
gynecological kind of cancers.
oh, that's the kind I had.
I'm sorry.
It's gone now. It's been 8 years, 7 years,
Well, I'm
8 years.
glad that you're doing well.
Yes, quite. They ripped it out and we're good to go. So yay. Although my uncle is currently going through treatment, bladder cancer, I want to say.
Mm,
So
yeah.
we all, fingers crossed, wish him luck, lots of prayers, lots of love. So, yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. If this is any solace, bladder cancer has some good options out there. So hopefully he'll do well on one of those therapies.
I hope so. He's strong, so we'll just keep our fingers crossed and say lots of prayers. Um, but anyways, I digress. As you know, I like to interrupt people. So continue telling me about who you are.
Well, sure. It's funny because unfortunately, that is how this conversation goes. Whenever I tell people I'm a cancer biologist, because it touches so many people's life,
Right. Yes.
that it is something that is a big, big, complex problem, and that's why it attracts me. I'm a scientifically quite curious person, so it is a space that I think I enjoy working in because I like uh,
Yes.
to do some challenging things. I did my PhD in the US. I did my postgraduate, and now I work in a biotech, as I said, as a cancer biologist. I was born and brought up in India, and I immigrated to the US when I was around 23, 24 years old.
Okay.
Um, I am I'm a writer. I'm a dog mom, and
So we're gonna talk about dogs. My dog, if I don't know if you guys can hear him, 'cause sometimes my microphone picks him up, sometimes not. My one dog, the old fart face, like I like to say, he is 12, so he is very old. He is currently barking. I'm sure because this is what he does. I'm sure he's laying on the couch and
Mhm.
barking into the air because he doesn't want to get up, but he wants something. Or that's option one. Or his brother is on his spot and he wants it, so he barks until his brother gets up. Yeah, it's a
Oh.
yeah,
That's
yeah. It's one of
funny.
those two options, I think.
So is his brother a human brother or another
No,
dog
no,
brother?
another dog brother. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
that's
I
so
have
cute.
I have three.
Oh. Oh my God,
Oh,
that's amazing.
I
Um,
love dogs, but we're gonna circle back to dogs because I know yours plays a pretty big part of your story, right?
yes,
So we're
yes.
gonna circle back because I can get very sidetracked when we talk about animals because I love them. But I know that we are going to have to come back. So continue. So you're a dog mom. Only one dog though?
Only one dog. I
Okay.
do have a close friend who drops her dog once in a while. So right now I have two dogs at home. Um,
Nice.
in general, a dog lover, yes. And because I'm a dog mom, I've fallen in love with walking because we go for
You
long
have to.
walks. Exactly.
And you're
So
in
it's
California, you said, right? So like
yes,
you
yes.
always have nice weather to do it. Tonight we're like My husband, I'm in Canada. My husband goes, I don't think we're walking them tonight. It's so just dead cold, like, and I'm like, I don't think so. It's negative double digits.
Oh
Um,
my God.
so there's
Okay.
absolutely no way because the out of the three, only one of them would enjoy that walk. Because
Mm-hmm.
the youngest one, he's 3 years. He's a shepherd husky, so he'd be fine because he's a snow
Yeah,
dog. The other two,
exactly.
not so much. Like the lab would be like, "Yay, I want to walk," but he's old and his bones do not like the cold as much as he wants to think he does. So
I'm sure. Oh no, in fact I'm in San Diego. It's quite warm today, so we are like,
I
uh,
don't know if I want to keep talking to you anymore.
I know, but we are the opposite. We are like, can it be a little cooler? You know,
Right, because now
right?
you get hot all the time. I think I would take
Yeah,
heat all the time over cold some of the time, but that's
I
all right.
agree.
But yes, when you have a dog, I think it goes hand in hand where you have to just begin. If you didn't like walking before, you have to learn to like it if you got a dog. It's the rules.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think maybe I liked it, but I never realized it before I got a dog that I really liked walking too.
It's more
It's a
fun with a
very
dog.
exactly, exactly. And when I go for a walk without him, it just feels weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think that's a big part of my life also because it helps you think, walking and going
Mhm.
out keeps your brain fresh.
Yes.
And that's my way of thinking about things, be it a scientific problem I'm working on or figuring out how should I write a particular piece I'm writing better. It's
Yeah.
an amazing way to think about things.
I fully agree. And I have to say, I love the color of your walls. Okay, so
Oh, thank you.
for those listening podcast styles and you can't see, well, just go on YouTube and look. But it's like it's like a light turquoisey kind of color. And it's gorgeous and I love it and my curtains in my living room are that color. So
It is very soothing for sure.
it is. I
Yes.
love it. I love it. Um okay, so we got the biologist part, we've got the cancer that you do it with cancer, we got the dog mom, we got the walks, we got the California. Anything else that we need to know about you?
Yeah, I think we did say I'm a writer. So,
We did say that too, yes.
yeah, so yeah, you got all the big pieces for sure. Yes.
Excellent. So now we're going to get into the small pieces. So just start your story wherever makes the most sense. And as you know, I'll just jump in and interrupt you and we'll just find out where we go.
Yeah, I love that. I think the place I would like to start is immigrating to the US to pursue my PhD. I think that was a big turning point in my life. I was very interested in science from a very young age, and getting the opportunity to pursue a PhD in the space I liked, which was biochemistry and molecular biology, was a huge opportunity. And when I was 23, 24, like most young people, you don't think what is the cost you're paying for that. So, coming away from home and trying to live in a different world, a world which is very foreign to you,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, yours is an
was
even bigger transition, right? Because you were coming to a whole different country. Was it now, did you decide to to go to the States for it because they had this specific program and you couldn't get it in India or like what was the reasoning?
there were multiple reasons. Definitely, it was the only opportunity I got to pursue a PhD, and I
Okay.
didn't want to let it go. You can, of course, pursue a PhD in India too, but at that specific moment, I did not have that opportunity.
Okay.
I was waiting on it, and maybe I could have gotten it in a year or so, but I didn't want to give up that opportunity.
Yeah.
Um, One and B, I always felt like United States was an environment where I could be freer to do what I wanted to. I grew up in quite a conservative environment, which was very supportive of education and being in academics, but it had restrictions on
Mm.
what was expected of women. And
Okay.
I think that is true all around the world, but at
Yeah.
least growing up, I felt that was quite, uh, restrictive. And I just thought that coming out of that environment would help me just, do whatever I wanted to, which was basically work in the lab for long hours and not have to justify to anybody that why that made sense.
Yep.
So those were the two big reasons for me to come
Okay.
to the US.
And did you come by yourself?
I did come by myself,
Oh my
yes.
gosh. That
Yes.
must have been so scary. I don't even like to travel for like a week by myself. Like that
I
must have
think
been.
now I've changed. I guess that's the beauty of youth. You don't think how
It's true.
scary it is.
It's true. Probably in my youth I would have been a little bit more okay
Hmm.
with it, but now, yeah, the older we get, the more scared of just life and
Exactly.
stuff. It's very kind of sad actually. We lose that little bit, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So you came here. Keep going now.
Yeah, sure. I came here and, as you said, working in a grad school in a different environment was quite challenging, but it was fine. I was used to working hard. It was a value I grew up with. And, there were challenges, things were good, bad, as with everyone's life, ups and downs.
Yeah.
But the biggest um, challenge, if I may say so, for a lack of better word, was when my mom passed away suddenly. I
Oh.
was in, I think, final year of my grad school, and because her passing was so sudden, it just pulled a rug out of under my feet. Right, it was like
Yeah.
something I couldn't make sense of. I was in the U.S., she was in India. I'd spoken to her 12 hours ago, and then
Oh,
my dad
wow.
calls and says that she's passed away, and we were very very close. Um, so I think that was something that just did a whole 160 on me. Or 180 on me. I couldn't uh, I couldn't understand how she could just go away.
Yeah.
And of course I had to travel back, and over the 32 or whatever 34 hours it took me to go back,
Yeah.
and see her, were like unbelievable. Even now, I don't know how I did it, but of course, you do it when you have to.
Right? My husband and I always talk about that for different reasons other than a
Mhm.
passing. But like people love to go, "Oh, I don't know how you did that," and you go,
Mhm.
"Me neither. I just did because what other choice?" Right? Like that's really what it is.
Exactly,
What other choice did you have? You couldn't just not.
exactly, exactly. And and of course, I came back after a few weeks, and continued to do my rest of the grad school, and I had to write my thesis, I had to defend it, figure out what my next options were. And I was just on an automaton, like doing stuff because I needed to do it. If I
Yeah.
stop, my visa would lapse. I need to do things that I need to.
Yeah.
And I pushed myself. That's what you do. And I finished my PhD successfully. I got a postdoctoral opportunity, got to the next whatever tier of immigration paperwork, which itself is a whole different story. It's very complex, but that's a big part of why you need to keep figuring out your next step, because you cannot be out of your visa status.
Hmm.
And after a while, I kept working in the lab, but I was like, I'm not sure what's happening inside me, because I never took a second to pause and reflect on what I had lost. And she was my biggest cheerleader. We would talk for hours on the phone.
Yeah.
She was the most important person in my life, and I couldn't figure out how to be in a world that did not have her, and yet I made no space for addressing that. And it was, I think, a few years into my postdoc, I had shingles, and
Ooh.
the doctor told me that you need to kind of de-stress, because
Hmm.
otherwise I was a healthy, a healthy female, and uh, no other reason to have that. It's usually, it affects the older people.
Yeah.
um, so that was the time when I was like, okay, something needs to give here. I need to figure out what's going in my head. And it was a
Mm-hmm.
few years, or maybe 3 or 4 years after her passing. And that's when I started writing. In writing about her, in, what we used to talk about. We used to talk about chat for hours over the phone. What did we talk about, and how the way she brought me up made me take these important life decisions to come to the US, to pursue, higher education, to take on the challenges which sometimes seem crazy. I'm like, why do you want to do this?
Right? Yeah.
So I think that was a big part that helped me
Mm-hmm.
address that grief and be open to talking about it. A few years ago, having this conversation would have been uh, like impossible to think about for me.
Yeah. I
So I
think
think
that's
that's
kind of common for people too, because it's easier. I don't know if it is easier, but it is a pretty common response that when something devastating happens, whether it
Mhm,
is a loss or cancer diagnosis, because that
mhm,
was me with the cancer thing. It wasn't until few years later that I stopped and went, "Oh man, I almost died." Oh,
mhm,
oh, right?
mhm,
So
mhm.
I mean, it's not always necessarily a loss, but it's a very common reaction to some kind of massive change
Mhm,
where you kind of push it off because you've got other things to focus on. Like,
mhm,
for me at the time, my kid was going, for lack of a better term, batshit crazy.
mhm,
Which for those who have watched the show, you kind of know a little bit about her. So that was when she was really going through a lot of stuff. So I didn't have time to stop and think about me. I was
mhm,
in mom mode. I had to do. I had to be done. Um, right? You were getting your PhD. You had your thesis to defend. You had all of these things that had to happen.
mhm,
So it's a lot easier to go, okay, I'm going to focus on this because if I'm
mhm.
focused on this, I don't have to be sad. I don't have to think about other stuff. But yeah, eventually it comes around and your body goes, you know what? Your brain's really tired. And so I'm really tired now. And this is what's going to happen.
Exactly. How
Yeah.
old was your daughter back then?
At the time, so she's 19 now.
Okay,
She
wow.
would have been about 10 or 11 because yeah, so it was about
Yeah, that's a
8 years.
pretty interesting age. Yeah.
Oh, right. So interesting.
Mhm.
But very, very common response. I've heard other people talk about it too, where, you just do everything else to not think about it.
Exactly, exactly. And the fact that you're telling me this, that other people, feel the same way, is what was needed to help, if not ease the pain, feel that you're not alone in this. But I
Yes.
couldn't do that. I just
Yes.
couldn't open up to people and talk about it, even with my very close family. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why writing became such an important sort of coping mechanism, because it was a way to share that, if
Mm-hmm.
not with somebody else, but to get it out of me. And
Yes.
eventually it led to this, what we are doing, talking to people about it, and feeling like, it's such a universal thing. Everybody, as
Yeah.
you said, it may not be just passing away of your loved one, anything,
Mm-hmm.
you lose things that are important to you, important in your life, uh, small to big. And so you will find people who will get that, and you can, through that connection, you can, feel like you are
Yes.
able to um, feel that, okay, I'm not doing this alone, I'm not crazy.
Right? That's the worst feeling is feeling that you're all by yourself and yeah, that you're crazy or
Mhm.
crazier in my case. No. I'm okay with calling myself crazy. I don't find it to be a derogatory term for myself, but I know some people do, and that's fine for them. But yeah, you just feel out of sorts, and it's not nice to feel that way at all.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm sure you and the listeners can see that English is not my first language. That was another thing that made me hesitate, right? How do I explain to people what I'm going through? Anyways, I'm not good at sharing. And B, I'm hesitant to share my feelings in a language that does not come naturally to me. Although, I studied in English and all that,
Yeah.
but still,
It's
it
still the
was,
first.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it was hard for me to open up
Mm-hmm.
for those two reasons. And it's very interesting that I wrote a book in English.
Yeah, right. It just kind of it grows on you, right? It just
Yeah,
grows on
yeah.
you. Okay, so as you get to that point where you've got shingles and you're like something's got to change, what happened next?
So the first few months I wrote was all about how much I missed her, how unfair the world was, and
Yes.
how could God do this to me, and
Hmm.
stuff like that. Just crying my eyes out.
Yes.
So the amazing part about sticking with writing or thinking deeply is you start to go beyond that, and it is beyond that layer of pain and all the things that you feel with losing a loved one is when healing happens, or you start to think more about not only the pain but the love you got of that relationship. So I think
Yes.
you start, or at least in my case, I started realizing that, of course, and she died quite young. She was 52 or 53.
Oh wow,
Yes, it
yeah.
was unfair. Yes, uh, you know, uh, I didn't deserve it and stuff like that, whatever. But the fact that I got to enjoy this relationship with my mother,
Mm-hmm.
got to experience the life with her, and got to invite the values she wanted me to take was something to be acknowledged, at least, and to at least feel grateful for. And I think that is what made me feel a little bit more at ease with
Mm-hmm.
what was happening around me, or at least in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
And eventually, I started opening up, talking to people, and it just shifted something inside of me, because when you talk to people and share, somehow it's very cliched, but the burden eases.
Yeah.
And people started talking about their life journeys. And when I say people, it's not like I was just talking to people who was from India. They were American people or
Mm-hmm.
European, like I did my postdoc at San Francisco, so it's a very multicultural community.
Yeah.
And I think that was another interesting piece, that everybody, no matter where you are from, gets this,
Yes.
gets the pain of losing something, or the complex emotions you are going through when you're away from home and you're trying to figure out what your life is here, and how to make
Isn't
connections.
aren't emotions crazy? Because I mean, no matter who you are, what your backstory is, where you live, no matter what, feelings, emotions are universal.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And it's just so crazy to think that of all the differences in all the world, it really doesn't matter because when it comes down to it, our emotions, they're the same.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that was a big piece. Finding, and there were a few of those, but finding those people who really saw you, understood you, and as I said, the biggest thing is they were from very different cultures, from many different countries, and the fact that we could connect on this was really very eye-opening to me.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was one of my friends at UCSF, the place I did my postdoc in, that encouraged me to adopt a dog, because I would always tell him, "You don't understand how hard it is as a postgrad. I have to work 12 hours in the lab. Who will take care of the dog?" And he was like, "You need to take this leap of faith. You need something to help you with all this."
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, he really helped me do it.
Oh, so let's talk about puppies now. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so my kid, so I always put myself on do not disturb when I'm in these. However, when I was on vacation, I put myself on do not disturb, but then selected certain people to get through.
Yeah.
So my phone goes off. I go, I know I put on Do Not Disturb. I'm like, oh yeah, it's because I still have her on that you can get through. But she's off now because she's just texting me about, I want to buy this and I want this video game, and I don't care right now. So there we go. Because I'm like, why is it going off? Okay, puppies. Let's talk puppies. First off, what is the puppy's name?
He's Freddy,
My
and
black lab, the one that I was said was barking that's really old, his name is Freddie.
oh my God, that's so cute. It's a cute name.
It is. It's so cute. Oh, what kind of dog?
He's a mix. I think he's a mix of maybe long-haired Chihuahua, and a little bit Jack Russell Terrier, I think.
She's just a little thing then.
Yeah, he's 15 pounds,
Oh,
16
he's just a little thing. Oh
he's I think 12 or 13 years. We adopted him when he was 3 or 4. So
my.
he's
Okay.
getting up there. Yeah.
Yep, yep, yeah. That's just it. Our Freddie, we got him when he was 4. He was
Mhm.
actually my daughter's service dog. He's
Okay.
obviously quite retired now in his old age, but
Yeah.
yeah. So he'll be 13 this year. Um, but yeah, they're getting old, and oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's so sad when they get old because they just don't live long enough.
I know.
But okay, so you get oh, I love that it's Freddie. So you get your Freddie.
Yes, I
Um,
get my Freddy and he transforms our life.
yeah.
Um, I stopped working in the lab crazy hours. I do come home to walk him between my husband and I. We try to leave him. I mean, at that time we would leave him like for 7 or 8 hours, but
Yeah.
now that has reduced significantly. So he just opened up something that I thought was not accessible. I mean, so much love and acceptance and just pure joy.
Right? Dogs love us unconditionally, and they teach us how to love other people unconditionally if it's something that we don't already know. And I mean,
Mhm.
I feel like even if you know it, you can still always learn more because dogs are just the best. They are
Mhm.
just always happy to see you, no matter what.
Absolutely. Oh my God, every every day he does the same dance when I come back from work and just fills your heart.
Right? Every day I come home. So Zen is the Shepherd Husky.
Mm.
And he always sits at, we have this window that looks, right outside. He has a spot
Mhm.
there. That is his spot. We had
Mhm.
when he was little, he would always try and look out this window. And the
Mhm.
bigger and bigger he got, we're like, well, it's not going to work the way you're doing it right now. So we actually bought a really solid end table, like a really, because he's almost 90
Mhm.
pounds,
Mhm.
so that now he sits he sits on the arm of the couch is where his butt is, and then his arms are on the table by the window so that he can actually
Oh,
look out the window, so he's not constantly trying to jump on it,
good
although
job.
depending
Yeah,
who
yeah,
walks by.
yeah.
But
That
and
is
I
so
I
good.
love coming home and I'm like, oh, hi Sunny, there's my boy.
Yeah.
So cute.
Oh my God, they have such personalities. They're
Right,
just
they're
their
so cute.
own quirks and yeah,
Right.
amazing.
And I love that when you're not feeling well, right? Like you're
Mhm.
emotionally not feeling well,
Mhm.
as you were at the time, really.
Mhm.
Um, they don't care,
Mhm.
right? Like they're
Mhm.
just like, okay, but like I'm here and I love you. So like here pet me and feel better. And tell me all
Exactly.
of your secrets. And I won't tell anyone because I can't
Yeah.
speak English. So just tell me all of your secrets. And it's so just ah,
Yeah, I know, amazing. And again, as was with writing, with the dog relationship too, over the years you build this bond that again goes beyond just love. You feel like they understand you, they get you, you
yes.
talk to them, and you feel like they get you or they get the home environment the way a human would.
Yeah.
And I always find it very interesting because he's an American dog, and I'm sure he would have not thought or been in an environment where he was exposed to some Indian cultural foods or things.
Oh
And I
yeah.
always joke with my husband that he is such a multilingual multicultural dog. He knows about many different things that many humans would not know. And I still remember when he first got him from the adoption center. Uh, I came and cooked something in a pressure cooker, and so I don't know if you know the whistle goes and it makes very
Oh, okay.
sound. And he was so scared, he just ran out of the kitchen.
Oh,
And now he just sits there. The pressure cooker whistles,
yeah,
whatever. Yeah, I know what this is. It's just so funny to see how they just become part of the family and
right.
how they
Yes.
evolve with us.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. And like they have their spots, right? So the
Mhm.
couch, and this is why Freddie often barks at his brother,
Mhm.
because he likes to sleep on the one side of the couch. He'll sleep on other spots, but like when he's really tired or whatever, he wants his spot. So
Mhm.
it's um like a long couch, and then it has a Shea lounger on the end.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
he often likes to lay on the end of the Shea lounger.
Mhm.
And I think it's because it's near the end of the room, so he can kind of look at the whole room if he wanted
Mhm.
to.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
he likes to lay there, and if Zen is laying there, he will bark and pretend like he wants to go outside. So my husband or I, will get up to let him out, and that means
Mhm.
Zen gets up immediately, and then Freddie goes and lays on the couch
Oh my God,
because
he
he
is
doesn't
so
actually have to.
smart.
Oh, he is a tricky guy,
Yeah.
because Zen will just lay anywhere. He doesn't care. And then Daphne's our beagle, so she's a little
Mhm.
peanut.
Mhm.
And she likes to lay on the very opposite side of the couch, where when Zen was a puppy, he kind of tore apart the cushion a little bit. So it kind of like dips in, and she
Uh-huh.
likes to lay right in that dip. She likes to just
Uh-huh.
curl up in there. And I'm like, well, I mean, I could replace the couch, but like they they've made it theirs and they like it. So what is the point?
Exactly. 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 I'm just going to turn on the lights. So it's just got a bit dark.
Ah, I do see that. So for
But no,
everybody,
that is
oh, it's
cute.
nice and bright now. For everybody who's listening, throw some puppy stories down below, please and thank you. We love reading and hearing about puppy stories, so I want puppy stories. Any animal will do. However, because Shivani and I are specifically talking about puppies today, puppy stories on this one. But I will also take all of them. Um, yeah, and then so you had mentioned it way before that, you know, they make you like walking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even though you probably liked it before, but you didn't do it. You weren't forced to go out and do it. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a couple things with that. One, I mean, exercise, which is great for your mental health, getting some exercise. Then you
Mm-hmm.
get your fresh air. Excellent for your mental health. Fresh air is great. And then you're spending time with puppies. Like it's the trifecta of the coping strategy triangle that I just made up in my head right now. It is the trifecta. It is perfect. You have all your bases covered when you take a puppy for a walk outdoor in the fresh air.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it just becomes a habit.
Yeah.
And you get you're so used to it that after a few years you don't even think about how much you walk.
Right, exactly. Except when it's negative double digits and you're like,
I
I
know,
can't do
I
it.
know.
And then you look at your puppy and they're just giving you the saddest eyes. And it's like, guys, you really like you don't actually want to go out there. Trust me, you don't, but they don't believe you. They just really don't believe you. And then they hate you all night long. No, they can never hate you. But they do give you the eyes. All right.
Absolutely,
Right? They give you the
absolutely.
eyes.
They
Um,
know that you understand.
right, exactly. They feel you. Um, so after getting the puppy, kind of feeling
Mhm.
better, what coping strategies might you use now if you're ever getting like sad? Because obviously you never, whenever you have a death or a big, I don't want to say disaster, that's not a good word, but a big disruption. It's not a great word either, but whatever, in your life, I feel like we never truly get over them. I hate that term. Oh, just get over it. And we don't get it. We
Mhm.
learn to live with it. We learn to embrace it as part of a fact in our life. Whether or not we like it, it just is. So we learn to live with it, despite it maybe a little bit, but not to get over it. So how do you live with this now? Because it was so devastating.
I mean, I'm so glad you ask that and the way you put it, you have to make it a part of your life. You don't get over it, right? You
Mm.
cannot get over a thing like that. And I think I read somewhere, or it's common saying that there is the half life of grief is, I think, infinite or something like that.
Oh,
And that's true for anything, even love, right? That if you love somebody, it's not like we love our dogs. Unfortunately, they have a very short life depending on how
oh,
big or small they are.
I'm gonna
But
be
that
so
doesn't mean
devastated.
exactly, but that doesn't mean that you'll ever stop loving them, right?
Yeah.
And you know that you we adopt dogs fully well knowing that we will outlive them, depending on how old or young we are, but most of the time.
Yes.
But we still think it's worth it, right? So I think it's exactly this feeling, or exactly this sort of wisdom, if I may call, that I try to apply when I'm super sad. That is, you know, of course, all this pain and all this, processing that I'm going through is because the relationship or whatever I lost was so meaningful and impactful to me
Yeah.
that I have to take time to reflect on that. And that reflection is which makes you, relive some of the memories, of course, which are good, and also sometimes they're bad. But it just makes space in your mind to address it and feel it rather than avoiding it. Because I think it's the avoidance that leads to all this
Mm-hmm. Yes.
mental health issues.
Yes.
And
It's a good
as you
point.
said, we could do many things to distract from it, but that's not the point. The point is to sit through it. And
Yeah.
initially it's hard, but as you process and you feel things, it becomes a little easier.
Yes. Yeah. Because those that we've lost, if we're talking about loss of people, they
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't want us to stay in the devastation forever, right? They would want us to be happy, but
Mm-hmm.
always never forget. But they'd want us to be happy and not sit in that devastation, right? Like your mom would want you to have finished the PhD and do the marriage and do dogs and do
Mm-hmm.
whatever else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's looking, going, yeah, that's my baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that. So we are getting close to the end of the show. So sad, so sad. Um,
Amazing.
time flies when you're having
I
fun.
did. That's true.
So before you get to selfishly promote, is there any last words that you would, any last piece of wisdom that you would give to somebody who has just experienced some kind of tragedy in their life? Like, not necessarily a death, like we said, but something big has changed in their life.
I think it's again, it sounds very cliched, but we all need to find some way of sharing it, whether it's through talking to people we can lean on, or reading stories that we can connect with, because that is how my
Watching the
journey started.
podcast.
Exactly, what again, listening to people's story, because it makes it real. For me, it was reading some grief memoirs, really, to help understand what I was going through, and that it was many of the things I was going through were normal, quote unquote. Um, so I think finding some way to sit in that grief, and sometimes it's
Hmm.
too hard to do it on our own. So
Yeah.
finding some ways to help you do that, and then reflecting on that. And the reason I say this is because there are so many distractions around us in this world,
Mm.
from constant social media to content streaming on our phones to TVs in every every corner of the world. And
Hmm.
it's important to take a break from that and focus on what you are going through. And maybe talking to somebody makes it more real. And I think that's something that worked for me, and I think it really works for a lot of people.
That is fantastic. Whew, big heavy topic, but it's all about puppies, so it's all good. Um, So, what is the book that you've written that you want everyone to go out and buy?
As you said, I did remember to bring it with me.
Excellent. But a
It's
little bit higher? Oh,
yeah,
there we
okay.
go.
It's called The Sky is
I-
Different Here.
Oh, I like it. What's with the beaker? What's it about?
So, I it's a fiction, but it was based on a lot of my own life experiences. So the character in the book is training to be a scientist. So hence the
Oh.
beaker. And the sky is different here because she's from India, trying to study
Okay.
in the US, making sense of the sky, which is different.
Oh,
And
nice.
I mean, I started writing, as I said, to, make sense of my mom's passing. And the character does lose her mother in grad school, and that really helped me feel all the emotions I wanted to, but through the character's perspective, because some of them were really crazy sounding, which sounded weird to my rational brain. So this character helped me live through some of those emotions and reflect through her journey on my own journey as an immigrant, as a daughter, and as a scientist who wanted to build her career in the US.
Nice. Oh, that's exciting.
Mhm.
Where are people gonna go buy it?
Wherever you get your books from, any
Perfect.
exact, there are many different places you can get it from. Bookstop, I guess, Amazon, your stores like Target and Barnes and Noble, um, and a few others. If you just Google, you'll find a lot of options to buy them.
Perfect. Perfect. And where are people gonna follow you?
I have a Substack by my name. If you Google on Substack, you should find it. Um, I have a LinkedIn profile you can look at. That's pretty much it. I'm not on social media. I'm very intentional about my attention span.
Which is good.
Thank you.
My attention span is all over the place, but that is how my brain likes to work.
Yeah, to each their own.
Yes. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing.
Thank you so much for having me.
I have one last very important question.
Okay.
Do you have a picture of the puppy, or is the puppy nearby to look at?
Actually, I shut my door because he really likes barking. But I have a picture very similar to what you said he likes. I don't know if you can see it on my
All right.
phone.
So
Uh,
tilt it a little bit. I can kind of make out his silhouette. I can't see him great, but I
yes,
can make him out. He's very
he's
bright. Oh,
seeing
he's
out of the
tiny. He's
window.
just
Yeah.
little. He's so
Uh,
little.
let's see if you can see this one better.
Oh my goodness. Tilt it like to the side-ish. Oh my goodness. Yeah. He's very the camera makes it very bright, but I
Right,
can see
yeah,
him enough. I
exactly.
can see him enough. Very
I know.
important. That was the most important thing of the whole thing. Um doesn't matter what we talked about and all that, no.
They are the main things.
Right? They totally are. I always joke that I'm just gonna make a whole show just talking about animals all day long, but then again, it's that attention span going all over the place. So I'll just talk about them when I can and focus on the importance of what this
Yeah.
show is about, which is, of course, knowing that, ending the stigma of mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And we can only do that by speaking openly and honestly.